Oh, wow, man. Hey, welcome back, y'all. This is broketv123. I'm your host, Rome. This is raw and unedited, unscripted, and unsponsored. So today, we're going to talk about probably one of my favorite topics. And that is, how everything changes every 10 years. Let that sink in. Think about it. So, every 10 years, where to start? Let's start in the 50s, 1950s. Everything was clean and neat. Men wore suits everywhere. And he had the white trash people they were greasers, man. They were cool, they were hip. You had the rich people that were squares. They wore the khakis and the dress-up shirts and all that stuff and everything. And it was you had the cool cars back in the days, real steel, metal cars, and Then came the 60s, 10 years later, and it was like night and day. 50s, 60s. 60s, it was all like peace, man. Oh, right. Everybody was high on dope. Make love, not war. Until we went to the war. 69 or somewhere around there, mid 60s, whatever. Vietnam, man. So that was like a whole time, right? Lava lamps in the 60s? I think it was. I think so. Tie-dye. Everything was really colorful. It's like the 50s was like black and white. Then you got into the 60s, it was like color. A lot of yellow and orange. What is up with that? And brown. Yellow, orange, brown. That's the only three colors you ever needed. All the black people had big ass fros. Really cool, looking like microphones. All the white people had long hair. They had them glasses, them round colored glasses and everything. Jimi Hendrix was big. Love old Jimmy. I actually have a t-shirt. I need to wear it one time on here. I have a t-shirt. You ain't gonna believe this. So one time I was going to a party. It was a 60s, 70s party or whatever. And I found this shirt with Jimi Hendrix on the front of it. No, I'm sorry. It wasn't Jimi Hendrix. Man, I'm thinking about a different shirt. No, mine was Bob Marley. Yeah, that's right. I've got a tie-dye with Bob Marley like this big. Still got it. I wore it that one night. That was it. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to mess this shirt up. I'm going to put it back in my closet. It's been there ever since. I swear to you. It might be worth something. I don't know. But it's a cool shirt, But anyway, 60s. It was like a cool time, man. A lot of weed. 70s. First thing that comes to my mind when you hear 70s is like, wow, 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 They're doing this. Staying alive. I think of Chips, the little cop TV show. Used to watch that show religiously. I had the motorcycle. Sold it a couple months back. Should have never done it. So it's that 70s. Yeah, 70s. The 70s. All about disco. Big cars. Big, long, outrageously long boat cars with like big shoes or something like that. Had these long front ends on them and these little bitty engines. Like you pop the hood and you have like this big area that was like this big, and I was like, well, what are we gonna put in the front there? Let's put a turbo on that. Yeah. Big block cars. Yeah. Why were they so freaking big? What was the point of that? But don't get me wrong. I mean, ain't nothing like a half quarter in the deuce, you know what I'm saying? Like a big ass Monte Carlo or something like that. The 80s. Now, the 80s was very special to me because of the way we dressed, our hair, the shoes, and the music. I mean, that's it. Well, the movies and TV shows. Yeah. I mean, that's man, I tell you what, if you could ever go back and live at a time, it would either be the 80s, if you were in a good area and everything, before crack cocaine came out. Because I don't like drugs. I'm totally against drugs. It's either that or the 60s. If I was going to go back to 60s, Woodstock. That's it. So I'd go back to Woodstock. There's probably dudes out there still living Woodstock. They're probably still tripping, you know what, right now. By the way, fun fact, and that's what I just read. 2 people died at Woodstock. 2 people were born. This is recorded. Okay, recorded information that I read. The way the guys died, one of them, I believe is right, overdosed, and the other one was ran over by a tractor. They were the 2 that were born were probably them. Just automatically, God said, you know what? Hey, we're right here. We're all together. Boom, reincarnation. Boom. But unrecorded, I've heard tons of people died. Overdose. They used to have a tent. I believe it was called it was a special tent. If you were tripping, it's called a trip tent, I think, or whatever. So if you were tripping on LSD, they would bring you in there, set you down, lay you down, whatever, and let you trip. And you had a person watching over you. Okay. As soon as your trip was over, you were next in line to watch the next person come in. Right? There's a whole documentary of Woodstock. I think there's a movie on it. Anyway, that would be the only time that I would go back to the 60s. The 80s, you know, everybody had, the white dudes had a mullet. The black guys, they still rock the little afro, sometimes the big one, whatever. I want to kick it. The music, freaking awesome. I can go into a whole podcast about music from the 80s. The movies, same thing. Boom. I hope I get to do that with y'all. If I do, it's going to be phenomenal. Yeah, even like the television commercials were freaking awesome. The 90s. The first thing that comes to mind with the 90s, windbreaker suits. Very colorful. Everybody was very sophisticated, seemed like. Khakis. They were, it was like a new version of the 50s. If that makes sense. Shoulder pads. Women loved to wear them shoulder pads in there. They were linebackers or something. I don't know. Corporate. It was like a corporate time, if you know what I mean by that. People still rock the same hairdos I would, pretty much. They were a little bit more neatly cut, but yeah, that mullet, dude, that thing stayed around for a long time, man. I had one. Rat tails. 80s through the 90s was rat tail. You had the rat tail. You had that one little, that block of hair coming down. Yeah. And as it grew out, it went like that. Gross. But cool back in them days. You had headbands and all that. Yeah. We're gonna stop right there, and we'll circle back around to that. All right. Please like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Let me know what your favorite time was. Yeah. All right. I'm Rome. This is broketv123. See you on the next chapter.
I want to go back and do it all over.